next, I'll recognize the ranking member for 5 minutes of questioning.
Ms. Reindel, thank you so much for joining us today. Just this week, OSHA announced a major policy change related to the monetary penalties for workplace safety violations. Under current law, what is the maximum penalty OSHA can seek for a serious violation?
Excuse me, the maximum penalty is $16,000, $550. So it's roughly $16,000.
What if a worker is killed?
If a worker is killed, it depends on the type of violation. It could also be a maximum of $16,000 if it's a serious violation.
And just to be clear, these are only the maximum penalties, right?
These are maximum penalties. They're often much, much lower. In our annual report, we do look at this, and for federal OSHA, the average serious penalty that OSHA issues is $4,000 for a serious violation of the OSHA Act.
Now, can you briefly tell us what OSHA announced this week? What are the consequences of this decision, and will workers' lives be at risk?
Sure. OSHA announced on Monday a new policy change related to its penalty structure and related to reducing penalties for businesses when they are cited by OSHA. OSHA has always, long-term, has had 4 categories for good faith, penalty reduction, history, lack of a history of violations, penalty reduction, quick fix penalty reduction, and size-based penalty reductions. And what this policy did here was it changed the criteria, and it's letting more employers into the penalty reduction space, and that includes large employers, not just small businesses. It also increases the penalty reductions to 70%. So you get fined by OSHA, you can have up to a 70% penalty reduction now, or 80% for willful violations. And if you haven't had an inspection in 5 years, you actually can have a reduction in penalties. And what it used to be was that you had to have an inspection in the last 5 years without many serious violations in order to achieve that.
Wow. What message does it send when this administration is willing to make it cheaper to break the law?
Sure. This new policy just creates incentives for employers to take the low road and to not follow the law. If you know that, I mean, we already know that OSHA doesn't show up to workplaces because of its resources, that it can't make it to so many workplaces every year. And further now, we know that if they will show up to, employers can expect penalties that are much too low to be a deterrent for violating our nation's safety and health laws.
In May, Secretary Chavez Romero told this committee that she would double down in addressing child labor. And yet her Labor Department recently sent a draft rule to OMP on child labor, which has not been made public. That might actually weaken child labor protections. With child labor violations rising across the country, we need to make our child labor laws stronger, not weaker. And I hope everyone here can agree with that, because potential rollback is very troubling. Ms. Reindel, if this new DOL rule increases hours that children can work or exposes them to more dangerous jobs, what exactly is the Trump administration doubling down on?
Sure. Yes, we haven't seen this rule in full yet, but it is by title about hazardous occupations for children to work in. So we actually have seen these things before in the first Trump administration, where they have attempted to lower the age that children can work in dangerous occupations and having them work at different hours for longer time periods. And right now, for decades, our nation has prevented children from working in certain hazardous occupations. We've had many violations of this over the years, and child labor violations are a very clear indicator of other health and safety violations that are going on in workplaces.
Thank you, and with that, I yield back.